So let's talk about the people who assure us it's safe. They're doing a wonderful job looking after us. They're using great science. Our pesticide regulatory bodies, such as the EPA here in the States. We'll talk about the actual process. I talked about the gold standard in science, which is peer-reviewed science. Peer-reviewed science is where a researcher without conflicts of interest, or they openly declare their conflicts of interest, publish a paper, and other scientists independently, and this is a blind process, the researchers don't know these other experts, they look at the paper and check it for accuracy. Once it's all revised, it's published in a reputable scientific journal, so all of us can look at it, read it, understand it, and decide whether, we agree with it. But this is an open and transparent process based on good science, the gold standard. This gold standard is largely ignored by the regulatory authorities because they instead get their studies from the pesticide industry, not from independent scientists. So the pesticide industry does the studies and decides which ones it will submit. Are they going to submit the ones that will damage their case? No. They will submit the ones that make their products look good. But if we want to look at these studies and actually have a look at the science, we can't, because they are commercial in confidence. We, the people who have to eat these pesticides and feed them to our children, should have the right to look at the studies our authorities are using, and we should have the right to have other experts look at it, but we can't. This process is totally hidden. We also know there's a revolving door. I don't know how many people listened to Jeffrey Smith yesterday talking about GMOs, but it's the same with pesticides. The people from the pesticide industry end up getting jobs as managers in the regulatory bodies, and they're the ones who make the decisions. And on top of that, the actual committees that sit down and review these studies submitted by the pesticide industry have people who receive money from these same pesticide industries. This is a conflict of interest, or what many of us would call a totally corrupt process. It is the equivalent of the foxes running the hen house. And what I want to say here is that where we get these studies, they're either not good enough to be peer-reviewed, or when we look at them and have independent toxicologists look at them, we usually find more evidence of harm, not less. We need to change this so that it is an open and transparent process based on good science. But at this stage, I will say clearly that there is not one decision by one regulatory agency, government regulatory agency on this planet, that we can trust. The only one that I'm prepared to trust, because it is open, is the World Health Organization, and I'll talk more about that.